He only got $20,000 for that whole movie. They are getting residuals, and they got a percentage of the box office. He got none of that. They tricked him into. He thought he was adopted. He didn't find out until February of this year. Mind you, that movie came out 10 years ago, 10, 15
or
years ago.
More.
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago. He found out this year in February when he was going through his paperwork, he found out he never was adopted by them.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm speechless. Okay,
Right.
wait. So I have to go back and watch the movie. I really like this movie. Her name was Leanne. I think that was her.
I believe so,
the
too.
mom's name.
Yeah.
You're saying they never formally adopted him?
Nope. The paperwork they had him sign was a conservatorship. Just like, what's her name? Britney Spears was.
Britney Spears.
Yep. That's exactly what it was.
And he had no idea.
Had no idea. He thought he was adopted.
So
Interesting.
Their attorneys have come out and said something too.
They
but
being the family.
the family.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
with that being said, he said this.
He being Michael.
Michael, that's
Okay.
correct, and not Jackson.
I need you to help with your pronouns.
He, she, we, them. They, it.
My friend
Shim.
was on a podcast. I mean, not on a podcast, on a Zoom call with someone, and their pronouns was he, him, king.
No doubt.
I was just irritated.
Yeah, I would have been. But
Okay, so
but-
she comes out.
So, Michael says that when he was 18, they had him sign a conservatorship, and they told him that he clarified. He said that they told him that this was basically the same as saying that he was adopted. Okay. They didn't say you adopted. They would say, he said they told him this is basically the same thing. So I thought that I was adopted into the family. Now, my only issue with this is this didn't just happen. You've been in the NFL. You played in the NFL and you've retired from the NFL. So you mean to tell me that at no point in time did you take a look that, like, the word conservatorship, you never heard anybody else say anything about it and you didn't go ahead and research it?
Now, let's be honest about this. He had people who research stuff like that have a good family structure. You think they're going to tell him about that? You think someone's going to not pull his coattail and let him know? No.
Well, but I'm still saying, Freeze, we all know him for the movie.
Right.
Right? So what I'm saying is, if you were in a movie, every time, a movie was made about your life. Let me back up. When I saw you, I'd be like, man, I bet you still getting paid off of that movie.
And that's what made him look into it.
No, that didn't just but here's what I'm trying to say to you.
I see your point.
You didn't just decide to look into it. Like, you wouldn't have just decided to look into it after you no longer playing in the NFL and you done played in the NFL for 7-8 years.
You're saying, I get your point. Your point is you would have been asking about my money
way before now.
After 2 months at the box office.
Let me break this down as well. From what I've read, because I read like several articles. He came up to them several years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, asking them, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Are we getting anything from it? And they were like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is the family. You got to remember, this is the family who he believes has his best interest at heart. Who, you know what I'm saying? If you believe that your family got your best interest at heart, you're really not going to question anything. You know what I'm saying? And then when he finds out in February, when he had a lawyer in February of this year and found out that he actually signed a conservatorship, then that's when he started filing the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he also asked them to make it right several years ago.
So according to them, he asked them for $14 million, and he said
to make it right. That's what you're saying.
And he said if they didn't give him $14 million, then he was going to smear their name and go to the West. That's according to them.
That's according to them. And I'm like, and I'm about to say this as well. And I'm telling you, I'm going to say this again. When have white people ever had black people's best interest at heart?
I don't. So I don't disagree with you there. I don't even think that. I guess what I'm saying is I think that they were trying to do something shady.
Yes.
Okay. But I'll put the caveat out there. Mm-hmm. I still say that if somebody made a movie about my life, mm-hmm. and then if I'm playing football and I have not seen one check, mm-hmm. I don't give a damn if you my mama, my daddy, mm-hmm. my cousin, my brother. I'm going to say, where is the check for the movie?
Where's my money?
Agreed. But in just like Britney Spears' case, when you're getting money from the other play, like for example, she was getting money from the NFL. She was getting money from her record company. She wasn't thinking about the rest of the money that she was being held from her. But that's in that same situation. And then unlike Britney Spears, they own his rights. They have the right to use his name and likeness without paying him shit.
Okay, so once again, if that's your family, mm-hmm. and you see that they done put a Michael Oher billboard mm-hmm. in Mississippi, mm-hmm. and you ain't got no money from it, you gonna say?
So what do you think is happening
mama,
here?
My white mama. What happened with the bill? So I think it's twofold. Mm. I think one, they definitely were trying to get over on you.
Most definitely.
Okay. To Freeze's point, two, I think he blindly believed them.
Yes.
Okay. Three, he was playing in the league, so he was getting paid. Mm-hmm. Right? He ain't in the league no more. Mm-hmm. And some of that money probably ain't there no more.
So now
and some money. And those transferable skills mm-hmm. from the Blindside that you didn't actually act in, they ain't there. Mm-hmm. So now that money that I should have been getting from the movie, or I think I should have been getting from the movie, mm-hmm. I don't just feel that you took my name, image, and likeness from me. I need it.
Mm-hmm. Well, like that, he could probably need it, and he probably can also. We don't know if he needed it or not, so to speak.
I know,
but also a principle, like, dude, you stole my likeness and stuff. Like, it's like in music industry. That's why a lot of rappers, you don't hear them coming out later, because when you sign a contract, the record companies own your likeness for 7 years. So, for example, like Tribe Called Quest, you're like, why Tribe Called Quest ain't bring an album? Because they want to renew their deal, and the record company owned their name and likeness. When they own your name and likeness, they could do anything. They could put your song in a movie, and you get nothing from it. So the fact that they own his name and likeness, they was going around. They could grab a practice jersey, fake his name on there, and say, hey, this is a Michael Oher jersey, and he gets no money from it. His likeness, Michael Oher's going to be here tonight. He ain't there, but they can still get paid from it.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. But what I'm saying is, you got boys and everything else around that's going to be like, dog.
Where the money at?
They having Michael Oher night tonight at the Wing Shack. Right?
But like I say, when you trust, but you blindly trust it, and that's his part.
Let me ask you this. Uh-huh. You done known me since first grade.
3 years old, G.
Okay, either way. I'm just saying, the point I'm trying to make is, if I was like,
oh yeah,
Freeze, okay, dog. Freeze. Hey, Freeze. No, don't worry about it now. Listen, we got some. You gonna be like, gonna be like, hey, but I feel you on what you're doing. Yeah, everything sounds great. I'm gonna need you to run that camera.
Right.
And that's even if you own. That's even if you in Germany.
Yeah,
DJing.
For sure.
You gonna be like, hey, I had heard at the crib that it was some below freezing t-shirts.
Below freezing t-shirts.
And I was just wondering.
We ain't get no money from it.
How much you make off of it?
Right.
Oh, dog, don't worry about it, man. I'm telling you, we get paid out here in the streets. I'm going to fill you in on it. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm going to fill you in for 10 years.
Yeah.
So what's
for 10 years, I'm not giving you the exact numbers.
The case has to go through the court, right? So this is really sad, because I know that residual money, I know it's coming in. Interestingly enough, I went to a Whispers concert. It was very nice.
Hey, Scotty. Yeah. What's that jam? Keep on loving me.
And They told the audience, if you're going to play our music, if you're going to buy our music, make sure it's our music that we own the rights to. Because at some point they, didn't own the rights to their music. And they said that they obviously signed when they were in their early 20s, and they didn't and were not able to acquire their rights until like 40 years later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? And so all that time, and during that time, it wasn't theirs. And he said, and as a result, we're now on tour. We're still on tour, and we're 80 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, dog. Like, that is just the most oppressive, and I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm thinking to myself, they're 80. Like, they're 80 up there doing a two-step.
Right.
Like, trying to do it. Not because, they may enjoy it.
But because they need the money.
It's the necessity of it. Because for 40 years, at some point or another, they signed away their name, image, and likeness, and was not able to get out of these, like, really, really bad contracts.
Yep.
And maybe couldn't have. And again, these are people who are around people. They knew people. I'm sure there were hanger-ons and groupies, and nobody ever said, like, hey, dog, where the money at?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, I think in the music industry, I think to me, here's the difference in what we're saying. What I'm saying is those individuals became aware early on, and they were like, damn, they got us. Right?
Right.
And they said, well, I'm going to fight back against them getting us by not putting out an album. Right. Or we'll go do something under, like Prince. We're going to do something under the pseudonym, the symbol, when he was the symbol. That was all about the record company. That was with Warner Brothers. Right. And that's my point. So what I'm saying is they were at least aware. He is saying
he wasn't aware. Yeah.
Until February. As Dandridge would say, February in 2023, the year of our Lord. That's the first time he became aware.
Yeah.
And I just find that kind of hard. Like, what I'm saying is, you may not have understood exactly what it was you were signing.
Yeah.
Because you were 18. But if I did sign something at 18, I would go back and at least do some research as to what it was I signed and what that all entails. Like I said, I do think that they were trying to get over on him. I do think that they got over on him. But I also can't believe that this is the first time that you have wondered where the fuck your money was.
It's going to be 2026, and Michael Oher going to be like, what's the Birmingham Brawl?
Right. He going to be like, somebody with a chair?
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you what it is, man. I'm going to tell you what it is. NFL CTE, man. He had a CTE issue.
I mean, that could be possible, unfortunately, but I just still.
I'm trying to give an excuse for you, Michael.
I'm just saying, though. Think about this.
Yeah.
As you, because the movie came out before you got drafted, or did it come out right after?
He was playing the league when it came out.
Well, I think it came out right after, though. It wasn't long.
No, he was in the league for like 2 years when it came out.
Okay, well, 2 years. Okay, okay, so 2 years, but I'm still saying.
Well, here's the other thing too. I'm just, like I said, I'm going on the other side. I believe, like I said, I agree with everything you say, but also this, most of us, period, common folk, I ain't gonna say black people, know how the movie industry really works. You know what I'm saying? He got 20,000, and since he wasn't in it or he didn't write it, he probably like, oh, cool. He didn't understand about residual income, the broadcasting fees, the syndication of it. He ain't think of all that. He's just thinking, I got 20,000 for it for my story. Okay, that's what I got.
So here's where here's my issue with that. In an NFL locker room, it's a whole bunch of other dudes in there like, dude, you was in a movie. You ain't getting no residuals off of that? You don't get paid off of that? They're going to ask that question.
But the average person, hold on, nobody say this too. The average actor a story is about does not get residual income.
I'm not
you know
disagreeing.
What I'm saying? So,
I'm just saying the question would be asked to spark your antennas for you to then You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he probably fake playing it off like, well, I got 20 grand for it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Because, like I said, people don't know the ins and outs of the entertainment industry. That's why people been getting over on the especially musicians and actors for years, because they didn't know this. What's her name? Her first movie that old girl was in. My girl that was in John Singleton movie. What's